hour. Let's talk about Religare. It's up nearly 8%. This is after a large trade has taken place in Religare Enterprises. Vivek has the details. Vivek.
Well, that's right. So in today's trading session, a very large bulk deal happened in Religare Enterprises. What we understand from our sources is that the Burman family has further hiked their stake in this particular company. Now, what actually happens is that, remember, the Burman family already owns over 21% stake in Religare Enterprises as of the data from the BSE at the end of the December quarter. So with today's stake purchase of more than 4%, what actually happens is that this will now go ahead and trigger a mandatory open offer from the Burman family. Remember, in September last year, they had already given a voluntary open offer at 235 rupees a share to acquire a further 26% stake in Religare Enterprises. So now this is quite interesting given the fact that their stake will now increase to over 25% after today's block deal. So what is actually still required to go ahead and complete the open offer? There are 3 regulatory approvals that are still pending. The first regulatory approval is from SEBI. The second regulatory approval is from IRDAI, given the fact that Religare actually runs the care insurance. And also, there is an approval required from RBI, given the fact that Religare also runs an NBFC called Religare Finvest. So all of these approvals are still pending. But today, the mandatory open offer limit has been reached, given the fact that their stake is likely to go beyond the 25% threshold today. We reached out to the Burman family. We are yet to receive a response from them.
Vivek, since this is mandatory by law, the open offer has to go through. Now, have you been able to get an understanding whether all of the other issues that you mentioned, right? I mean, not just what you mentioned, but CCI also was involved. I mean, if you remember, would all of that take a backseat and this now has to get done? Because there would be timeframes, etc., right?
Well, that's right. So what actually happens is that this is another important milestone. What was actually pending was that, remember in October last year, they had around 17%. So in a block deal just pre-open in October, they had acquired another 4.5%. And along with that, they had given the voluntary open offer. All of the regulatory issues now, that will actually, in terms of timelines, it's tough to predict, given the fact that even the other party, that is the board of Religare Enterprises and also the person running Religare Enterprises, they continue to try and stall the proceedings. But with today's block deal, the mandatory open offer is triggered. So, definitely there will be a letter going out saying that we would look to acquire another 26%. In terms of timelines, a little tough to predict given the fact that these approvals could take any time, given the fact that both of the parties continue to engage with the authorities.
Price, Vivek, because they'll have to announce a price, or will it be like a determined formula? Because the current management was saying that the price is too low. That was one of the things they'd said, right? In opposition to the Burmans trying to take control.
That was one of the problems that they had, or one of the issues that they had with the open offer. They said that the value at which the stake of Religare Enterprises was being valued was too low according to them. But the open offer at 235 rupees a share, when it was announced in September last year, it met all of the required SEBI guidelines. So as long as it meets the SEBI guidelines, there is no real issue. And in fact, if you recall, Prashant, during the interview with you, they had also mentioned that we are open to go ahead and revise the open offer price, in case they aren't getting enough of a positive response from the existing shareholders. So the open offer price, as of this point of time, there are no issues as per the regulations. But of course, if they want, they can go ahead and increase it if they feel that the response that they're getting from the existing shareholders isn't enough.
Thank you very much for that. Just reading an old interview of Mohit Burman on this issue, he said that we first put money in August of 2018, that's 6 years ago, through a preferential offer when the company did not have money to pay their salaries. Then in 2021, the company Burman family again put money in the company, and the current management welcomed us wholeheartedly. We put in another 175 crore. They've been with the company for the last 6 years. They're not new to Religare Enterprises Limited. They believe Religare Enterprises can do more, and the Burman family, which has interests in insurance and finance through Religare Finvest, can provide that strategic direction. So they believe their guidance and presence on the board will help increase the stakeholder value. So the takeover tussle, in a way, continues at Religare Enterprises. Vivek, thank you very much for that.